Yeah. Welcome to Unified Media Dropping Gems podcast. Let's get it.
Unified Media Dropping Gems Podcast, Season 2, Episode 3. Topic of conversation revolves around entrepreneurship, the pros and cons of entrepreneurship, and just a deeper dive into those dwellings. Tune into the show once a week, every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, live on YouTube, where we have raw, uncut, open discussions that can range with insightful and educational information across the board. Other episodes will include past and current events, trending topics, conspiracies, personal journey, and more. We also invite special guests to shed light on who they are, what professional industry they are in, and if you would like to be a guest on the show, email droppinggemspodcasting@gmail.com with your name, business, industry, IG at, and brief bio. Hosted by yours truly at It's Official JR and at ONTL The One. Support the show by subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell. Today, we have a very special guest. We have survival skills in the building today. Survival, it's been a minute. We're glad to have you on episode 3 of Dropping Gems. We never had you as a special guest or a co-host in season 1. So to have you here on season 2 is incredible. ONTL The One Ak. Everybody knows my man from LA. So we are here. Entrepreneurship, the pros and cons. Make sure that if you like the information today and it's useful, share it to somebody who else you think will find this information useful. Feel free to donate at the Cash App under there, right there at the yellow description below. Before we get into it, I usually like to have just to do a well-being check and check on my brothers. How was your week, Ak, and then how was your week, Survival?
Started a new job. Can you hear me well? I know.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I started a new job, man. I got a pretty much a driving job where I get to move around and be me, and then it's a supervisor job, so it's in the lane of what I actually do and how I get down, because I'm a leader at heart. You know what I mean? So I got the understanding on how to talk to management and talk to the employees, you know what I'm saying, and bridge that gap together. So, got blessed with something, and that was pretty good. And then also too, we just had our feast of harvest, and that was there was a lot of knowledge dropped in there, man. It was a lot of knowledge dropped in there, especially in regards to the spiritual transparency in regards to how to be an entrepreneur and reap the harvest. Get what I mean?
Yeah, would love to touch on those points when we get a chance.
Yeah. A little later in the show, we can get into that.
For sure. Appreciate that, Ox. Survival skills. How was your week, sir?
Man, my week was actually incredible. I've actually taken on some new roles at my job. Like I said, I work for Costco. So I want people to know, like, hey, it is okay for you to have a job while also being an entrepreneur, first and foremost. But got myself a new position. Basically, it's in membership. So membership is kind of like building relationships with members before they actually enter the store. And I was like, you know what? I like this because this is also helping me get to know like clientele, helping understand what they're coming there for. And I was like, oh, this is actually helping build up my skill set as well. But overall, got a chance to just relax, meditate a little bit. On top of that, read some more books, like for more knowledge, because bro, it's all in the books. Everything that me and you focus around, and on top of that, D1, everything that we focus around is literally coming from these books that we read each and every single day.
Beautiful. We'll definitely want to highlight some of those books that you read, so I could take some notes and purchase some of those books if I don't have them yet. As far as my week has been, not too bad. Just got over the last 2 weeks of recording a debut album for an artist named Jessie Cortez. She's releasing a single called La Madrina any day now on Spotify.
And was she on the One?
She was on the vocals for the One.
She is
on the record, the One. Didn't get a chance to get a cameo in the music video because I believe she was headed to Puerto Rico at the time, but it's no biggie. I think she wants me to jump on La Madrina remix. So there'll be a chance for La
Nice.
Madrina remix when we get
Let's
a chance
go.
for that. This week, there's been renovations done around my house. We're working on renovating the kitchen. Just bought a new set for the bedroom.
Ah,
Bought a
getting
bought a shed,
comfortable.
bought
Look
a
at
shed,
that
bought a
over.
shed to kind of
In
clean
the
up
house,
the
go
area.
home.
Fixing up the yard. So yeah, just increasing value on the property that we're in, so that way either there's going to be a selling point or possibly renting out this property. Second property investment is going to be a duplex. Third investment is going to be some land, or both at the same time, actually. So it's land, and we're going to put a duplex on top of the land. The property will be in the back, and the business will be in front of that particular property. So it's going to be about 2 acres. That's all a big project. That's down the line, so to speak, probably within the next couple of months, just hashing out, finances and things like that. Other than that, yesterday took the children to go watch Spider-Verse. Fell asleep on a little bit of it because there was so much going on. When you're my age, you kind of take naps during the movies, especially when it involves children and children flicks. So I did take a dirt nap for about 5 minutes. So I fell asleep on Spider-Verse, but I did watch most of it, and I can say it was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh,
Don't
and
fall
today,
asleep on Spider-Verse.
right? Don't care on that. It's all connected, by the way. I'm a big Marvel fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's what they do, man. I love.
Yeah,
That's why
they definitely bodied it, because the way
you
they
just gotta
connected
pay
it to
attention.
the way they connected it to like the human like Spider-Man, it was intriguing. So I enjoyed it.
Nice.
And then today took my older son, my twin, to karate class. Probably been doing that for about a good
3 weeks or
2
so.
months. No, it's been like 2 months.
Oh damn, it's been that
Yeah,
long.
been about 2 months already.
Yeah, over here.
Um with
Feel like I
this
just started.
Yeah,
Damn.
no, we're working towards yellow belt already, bro. Yeah, I'm
Congratulations,
into
man. That's
it.
what's up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what's up, man. Yeah,
So
y'all
yeah,
do
me
that.
and my son are training for yellow belt. I'm actually wearing this cap right now because on my left eye, the grandmaster actually took a shot at me, and my eye's a bit swollen near top of my eyelid up
Okay.
here.
I thought
That was
you
during
were
the train, because
something
during
bad.
the training, there's a certain training sequence that I have a bad habit of, like when I keep my hands up and I go to swing, I put this hand down for some reason. So when I put this hand down and I went to go swing, he took
Open.
it was
Yeah,
wide open,
he
right? Boom.
was open.
Took me out. And then he
Damn.
yelled at me. Yeah, he yelled at me. He was like, "Keep your hands up." I was like, "It won't happen again." So I
Hey,
got
that was the lesson learned.
lesson learned. Definitely lesson learned. So yeah, I got a little chipped up.
Hey, the one thing about is, see, just because we on the subject, man, it seemed like everything just tied in today on how, what I'm saying, the topic of what we're the discussion. All of a sudden now we can see the analogy in between that. You learned that lesson right there in regards to keeping your hand up. Just the same thing in entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying? When you see that you got one business or one thing that's not working, you got to, all right, you know what, that's not working. I gotta figure it out and see what's gonna work now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's never a moment where you give up. You just find a different route. You go a different way. You know what I'm saying? You choose you stop, analyze, and look at it from a different perspective, and then move on accordingly. You know what I'm saying? But,
Let's get it. Let's get into it. I love that analogy.
Yeah.
First thing I want to get into with you, Ox, since you're kind of embracing the moment right now.
Okay.
Has there ever been, before we get into the pros and cons, has there ever been something that you wanted to try as an entrepreneur, but then realized, this ain't quite for me?
Ooh, I don't think it's really.
Hit you with that
Say
deep
right
talk.
now.
Yeah,
Because I mean, it's not necessarily something that I was just like, this not for me. It was just more. It's just been. I've been looking at what I'm into and what I like, and just taking entrepreneurship in that direction of those specific specific passions. You get what I mean? So it's not like I was out here trying to figure out what thing I wanted to be, or what business I really wanted to do, or what type of person I wanted to be as a sales, or what service I was going to provide. I was just more looking at it like, since I'm involved in music, how can I turn that in entrepreneurship into something, or turn that into entrepreneurship, which is the producing and doing this, podcasting and things of that nature. So that's why I can't say like, I don't know. I don't want to say I don't know, but it's just like, I haven't really got to that point yet. So you might ask me that question a little later.
Yeah,
it might come around if I did,
Okay. Serve, how about you? Is there anything that you've tried as an entrepreneur at first, thought, hey, I can do this, and then said, this ain't quite for me?
Yeah, it was selling knives. Yeah, Cutco.
Selling
I don't think
knives.
I could go ahead. Yeah, selling knives. Like, I never thought like it was something that was for me, because I was like, one, it's more so like, I never thought I would see myself be the type of guy where you would knock on the door and you would get to know people, like, because you have to establish a relationship with them. And the whole thing is like, I'm a total stranger coming to someone's house to go ahead and do a demo. And I never saw myself doing it. So it was like, it was something I signed up for. I tried it and I just realized it wasn't for me.
Now, the
So
demo,
that
was the demo somewhere
demo,
like you grabbed the board, threw it on the wall, and just started throwing knives?
Oh no, I didn't do nothing like that. It was more so like,
if I catch you doing one of those, imagine.
No, it wasn't.
That's a righteous question.
Yo, that would be kind of fire though. He throws the board up, takes out like 10 knives, throws the hat back, and then starts.
Hey, bro, you might get away with selling. Yeah, you might get away with.
I might get 5 out of the 10.
I might, you know what I mean?
What tripped me out was, see, back then it was what I didn't do. And I can see myself doing it now. But like, what the question was, how would I be able to do it like back then? Back then, no, I couldn't see myself just selling knives, because it's not really my niche. But if I did do my research on it, then I could have told people like, yeah, why on earth would you go and get these knives compared to other knives? I know for a fact, if you get a Cutco knife, these are the sharpest blades that you're looking for. These are knives that you can use for the rest of your life, for all eternity, because even if these knives get dull, you can send them on in, because they have a lifetime warranty where they just sharpen up the knives. So you will never have to buy another knife ever again, because this is Cutco, and Cutco takes pride on their knives. Were
you a collector of knives?
I'm selling right now.
No, I wasn't. It was more so like, someone told me about how you can make some money just by selling knives. All you had to do was just do this. Like, what is better than these other knives? And that's all it was. And I just heard it because I was like, at the time, y'all boys, I was kind of broke. I was broke, busted, and disgusted.
You look at it as opportunity. Yeah, it's opportunity. Yeah. You look at it, all right, let me see how it goes. Because well, you know what? Now that you speak of that, sir, now I see there is I do have a situation that
there you go. All right, come on, bring it up, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I did have a situation that it was presented to me though, because of Uber. I was or Lyft. I was getting a ride to work. Excuse me. And this guy, this older gentleman, he was talking to me. I forgot exactly what the business is, but it was something like a pyramid business. And basically, all I had to do was go around and give information and give a brochure and sell one thing and tell them to call this number, and then they'll do the rest from there, right? And he was like, the more and more people you get to call that number, this is the amount of money you would make. And I forgot the exact numbers, but it was just, I thought about it, and then I seen it, and then when I left and was at work, I sat at work all day thinking about that, and I was just like, yeah, I know this is not gonna be for me. So I didn't even give him a call or a try. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just one of those things, like the way you were saying it and the way he was talking, it was just kind of like, all I gotta do is get people to call that number. And so I'm waiting for people to call this number who may not even believe, or who may not even want the brochure or read the brochure. So I'm really giving myself a 2 out of 5 chances of ever getting something out of that. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And then only getting the 5% of it.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, That was
So one of the things that I've tried, and I'll end up coming back around to it as an entrepreneur. Um, Other than MLM stuff, there's been a bunch of MLM stuff that I've tried that just never hit for me. I guess for me, it's the product and what the brand represents that has to sit well with me and has to be a part of my selection of morals and principles and what I stand for. But beyond that, I tried, launching my fitness business, as a personal trainer, and then wanted to get a physical spot to run like boot camps and things like that. I did it through COVID. It picked up some steam, but then for some reason I went from and this was my personal use. I started eating bad, and then as I started eating bad, I started gaining weight, and then I didn't quite fit the representation of what my classes and what I was showcasing towards my clients. If I don't stand on it, who else is going to follow it? You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So since I lost touch within myself, not to be consistent with my own brand and my own health, I lost touch with my clients and then my base, and then people couldn't afford to keep up with it and things like that. So I put that on pause, and then I decided to open up a business. And this is outside of music and film. I decided to open up a property management business. And I realized that since I'm in a wealth building stage right now and I want to learn something new, I decided to dive into real estate and what the market really means. When it's about to hit a bubble, when it's hot, when it's cold, things of that nature. I'll most likely, once I get through this book that I have, I'll have an episode on just sharing, the means of real estate, building wealth through land, purchasing land, and over purchasing commercial spaces. You know what I mean? That's a hustle within itself. When you're able to get land, you're essentially getting spaces for lot spaces. If I have 10 acres and Walmart wants to sit on top of them 10 acres, guess what? Walmart, now you're paying me X amount of dollars every year for this Walmart to sit on there. That's where the true wealth is. It's in land, commercial property, housing, things of that nature. Another great investment would probably be, the duplexes, the townhouses, things of that nature. But that's besides the point. But yeah, it was the fitness business. I don't want to lose track. It was the fitness business that I tried. Now, the 2-month hiatus that I'm supposed to take off social media, which I can see myself less on social media, but still on it to be able to reach out to brothers like yourselves, and stay in contact with you guys, whether through text or through DM, still sharing stuff and things of that nature. But I took a hiatus from social media to focus back on my health, because now I'm going to develop this book called the Fall and Rise of Saya. And the Fall and Rise of Saya is a fabricated story, but has connection to the real life nature of my ancestry and my roots of my ancestors, and where I come from and things of that nature. So I'm hoping that my kids get involved when I pitch it for a movie, so that my sons can play me, at that age, 10 years old, 15, and then now me as a grown man. And there's going to be a connection where eventually I become like, think Morbius meets Batman.
Bro, I'm hearing superhero.
Yeah, I am.
That's hearing superheroes.
That's what the book is going to be about.
Okay.
I'm starting it off as a book. The chapters are going to be around the concept of the hero's journey. If you haven't heard what the hero's journey is, the hero's journey is 12 concepts of what the hero goes through before he becomes the hero.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's all of us, and that's what we all go through. We all have our own hero's journey. So if you never got grasp of what the hero's journey is, do some research on that. It's incredible. It's a lot what movies are based on today. And if you ever need an idea for a movie, the hero's journey is where you want to start.
Okay.
So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. Is there anything you guys want to dive into as we continue the show? Is there anything you guys want to shed light on? Any questions, concerns, things you want to touch base on in entrepreneurs?
Yeah, I feel like, sir, you should speak to that point, like you were speaking earlier, in regards to having a job and being an entrepreneur, and what the challenges are, and what are the the pros and cons of that.
Oh yeah, I mean, before you even get into it, one question I would say for Serve is mention how long you've been at Costco's. Mention how you discovered Forex, and then how you discovered colors, and do a deep dive into those three things right there.
Okay. So originally I had discovered Forex. I discovered Forex one day when I was actually working for Target. I was working at Target, and basically what happened was I was already feeling like my life wasn't going where I wanted it to go. Like basically I felt like it was a void. And most people, they really feel like that. After you worked a job for so long, you start feeling burnt out. Like you start feeling like you don't matter. And then eventually it comes to time that you're ready to elevate. Well, around that time, one of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to get into it was electronics. I wanted to work in electronics, and after I worked in electronics for so long, I was like, hey, you know what? I want the manager's position. One, it's more money, and for me, someone like my stature, the way how I see this is, if I'm not elevating every year, then I'm basically being stagnant, and I don't want to be here. That's how I was feeling. So I was a highest paid salesman up at Bloomfield Hills Target. That's right. If you know, you know. My name still ring bells in those hallways. But while working there, one day, my girl at the time, we're not together anymore. I just want to make that specify that. So if y'all see it, I don't want no smoke, whatever. But here's besides the point. While I was working one day, I came home. I had a check. Check was like $666. And my girl was like, how much did you make? And I showed her the check, like 666. She was like, oh, okay. Well, you know what? Next thing I know, she ends up taking the cell phone. And I saw her walking away and everything. She walks away. And then after that, she comes back within 20 minutes. Now, mind you, guys, I've been working for how long with this store? I've been in there for about a whole year, going on 2 years working at Target. And she comes back, the same amount of money I made, she made that. She doubled it within 20 minutes. So while making this, so I'm sitting over here, I'm looking like 666. This woman walking around with $1,200, and I was like just walking around with a phone. That's all it was. So when I saw it, I was like, you know what? Show me how you did that. Because obviously I must be doing something wrong where here it is, I'm working for every 2 weeks and you just did this in 20 minutes.
You're exchanging time for money. She's exchanging money for money.
Absolutely. So it was like she was introducing, how she could actually make money work for her. So it was like, the same currency that we have that's already in banks, the same money that you work in blood, sweat, and tears for that's going into the bank is the same money that's being moved. And that's what she was introducing to me. So that's how I found out about Forex. Now, the pros and cons of this, it was the fact that I'm working a job where I'm feeling like this is making me money, but I'm also feeling like I'm just stagnant. Like I'm not going to grow here. As much as I keep asking my boss to give myself a raise or for me to go ahead and elevate myself to get that promotion, it's not going to happen. And I was feeling like, well, wait a minute, it's not going to happen, but I'm the one that's running everything. I mean, like this person that's ahead of me is younger than me, doesn't have more experience than I do, but she has a degree. But she's able to have that. You all know the game, how it's being played. So I'm the one that's doing the work that she's supposed to do, but she gets paid more money for the less work that she does. And that's what I felt was unfair.
All because of a degree.
Because of a degree, a piece of paper. So in my mind, it just brought me to this. It brought to my attention that, you know what, I have to do something else because they're not going to give me what I'm asking for. So I have to make this come to me. I have to turn nothing into something. So then when I saw my opportunity for Forex, that's when I went with it. So here's some of the pros. The pros of you being an entrepreneur is the fact that you get to do what you want to do, regardless of what anyone says. It's like putting on a cape. Like my boy JR said, it's like putting on a cape. You feel incredible. Like any idea that comes to mind, you can turn it into something. You got the Midas touch. It can turn into gold if you want it to. All you have to do is have enough faith and enough belief that this will work for you. Now, that's a pro. Now, here's a con. The con of entrepreneurship is sometimes you start, and the hardest part about entrepreneurship is to get started. It's getting started.
Or keep going.
That's what it is. It's like keep going, because eventually sometimes you will start something and you get burnt out because you'll have the idea, but once you have the idea, you lose that faith. You lose it because it's like, oh well, I thought if I started this, everyone's going to help me. No,
that's because you have expectations, and it's not, you're supposed to set goals, not have expectations.
Absolutely.
When you look at it from that perspective.
So they tell you that, and it's like when you have that high expectation of starting to be an entrepreneur, whatever your niche is, this is the first thing you should start off with. But the problem is when as soon as you have that idea, what happens? The people you think is going to ride with you, they don't ride with you. The same people that you thought was going to support you, they don't support you. Even if it's a like, if it's a follow, if it's, hey, share my post, it's like non-existent to them.
Oh,
but they want you to give,
and that's all free.
Yeah, that's all free. It doesn't require no money, because sometimes the only thing that we're asking for, and this goes for a lot of entrepreneurs, the only thing we're asking for more than anything is support. That's all we're asking for. We're not asking for you to beat us down. We're not asking for you all to shine the light on what we don't have, because I can already beat myself up about that. I can already shine the light on what I don't have and what I do have. But that's the problem. That's what was so wrong. So when it comes to us talking about services that we want to provide, and when it comes to putting a price on it, people act like they ain't got their wallets up. I was like, it's true. It trips me out. If I was to sell, let's say for instance, if I had a grocery store, and I know I want to be big like Walmart, they'll spend their money at Walmart before they even come to me. But if they come to me, the very first thing they ask you is what? A handout. Oh, let me get a discount. I'm just getting started. I can't afford to give you a discount if I'm just getting started. So the price is the price, because this is going to keep me afloat. So therefore I can deal with those big businesses. So it does have its pros. The pros, you can be who you want to be. You have the idea, and everything that you want to touch, it starts with you, because you're the leader. You're the visionary. You came up with the vision. The con is, as soon as you get started, some people will not support you, and you have to keep that vision alive.
That's the challenge of entrepreneurship. That's the challenge. Look, that's the it's a pro con.
Mm-hmm. It really is.
It's a pro con, bro.
It's a pro con.
Now, one of the things I had discovered along my journey from being at Target, then that's when I got into Costco's. When I got into Costco's, I remember I was feeling burnt out, because Forex, it's not an easy game. It's not easy. Some people will say that it's like the stock market. It is like the stock market, but it's just that you're trading something different. You're trading currency. So with stocks, stocks is like major companies that you can invest in. Currency is more so like we're talking about gold, we're talking about euro, Canadian dollar, Mexican peso, United States dollar, possibly the Japanese yen or whatever they got that's coming on out this way. So it's trading currency. Now, one of the things I've noticed with a lot of people, they tell me that if you get into Forex, they say don't treat it like a slot machine. This is not a lottery game where you just, I'm just going to buy this currency and hope that it's going up. No, it's about understanding. Some people use this as a gimmick to get rich quick, because a lot of people say that I don't want to get rich quick scheme, but as soon as they get into it, let me make some real fast money. So that's what you came in for. So they don't come in with the understanding. They don't come in with the learning. So my mentor, Dr. Raphael Spiller, a black man, I want people to know this, a black man created this. He created a system where he said, for people that's having a hard time understanding how to understand Forex, he said, what if I could make it simple, so simple that you couldn't misunderstand it? Well, I was one of those people that happened to just hear about it, and I kept listening. And I was like, I heard about this man turning people into multimillionaires. Not one, not just two, not just three, but several. And I saw the people that he influenced. So one day when I caught wind of him having this program, I wanted to see it for myself. And it was so simple that you can explain it to children. How can I say this? A buy. So in the market, you have a bullish market and you have a bearish market. Bullish means that the market's going up. Bearish means that the market's going down. Well, he came up with something so simple you could misunderstand it. Okay, so let's look at it like this. If I have 4 green colors, that means that I'm buying into the market. If I have 4 red colors, that means that I'm selling the market. And that's how easy it was. He had a simplified system that gave you all the indicators, lets you know when to get in, lets you know when to get out. But some people just could not fathom like it was that easy. Yes, it is that easy. So that's how I stumbled upon colors, and that's how this man became my mentor. Not only did he become a mentor, he became my brother. This man is still teaching me till this day, and I was like, I am so happy and grateful now that my mentor introduced me to the Trinity. I am so happy and grateful now that I have a mentor. One of the things that entrepreneurs really have before they start is a mentor. I recommend anyone that decides that they want to start in entrepreneurship
Get
that
a
you get
mentor.
yourself someone that has already created the blueprint, like created the blueprint that's giving you the constructive criticism for you to accept, because these are the people that will help you. They've already
Norjana.
gone through the hardships. They've already been through the hard roads. They've already taken the hard lumps. So therefore, you don't have to. So whenever you hear your mentor speak, get your notepad out, get a pen, and I want you to start writing. Don't speak, don't speak, just listen and write.
Learn.
Observe.
Learn something. Observe. I love it. I love when you say get a mentor.
Yeah.
That really speaks volume. The only thing that's difficult about that is finding a mentor. That is the most difficult part, because there's a pro con to that, and I'll tell
Yeah,
you.
there's a pro. Yeah.
Look
There's
at
a
look
pro
at y'all.
con
Look
to
at y'all.
pro cons to that. One that I can say is that us 3 gentlemen, I feel like we are mentors in our
Mhm.
own space, right? But then the pro con is the people around this space. When you provide information, free game,
Mhm.
they don't utilize it. They
They
don't
don't.
utilize it. So it's hard to find a mentoree.
Yeah.
Even, you know what I mean? Somebody that you know that you could look at and be like, I could see a young me in that man. You know what I'm saying? I could see a
Absolutely.
young me in that man. And I've realized, even with Unified Media, so much game that we have given, and nobody outside of us really has utilized it. You know, hi, good morning from the Philippines. Norjana, love to the
How's
Philippines.
it going, dear?
Let everybody in the
Appreciate that
Philippines
from the
know we
Philippines.
Unified Media dropping gems is ready
Yes.
for the Philippines. We ready for Thailand. We ready for Hong Kong. We ready
That's why
for
we coming for
ready for
everything.
Japan. We ready for the Messiah. We ready for the Forex. We ready for the colors. We ready for the millionaires, the billionaires, the Bill Gates.
Hey,
Listen, bro. We
hey,
ready for
look.
Tesla.
Hey,
We
Yeah,
want
bro.
it all.
colors is that easy,
We
man.
coming through your TV screen.
Colors
right
is
through your
that
TV
easy.
screen.
All it takes is for you to give it a try.
Right. No, it's don't get me wrong. Forex and colors is something I'm definitely interested in. I mean, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm interested in money. I'm interested in learning how to move money within that space. Trust me. The only thing is, I'm not worried about the fee. I'm not worried about none of that. It's me finding the time that I was going to take from what I already have a handful in and say, I got to push this to the side to give my 110% here for this moment. When I have that time, when I do have that time to say, okay, some things are established over here. I've already have the foundation. I put a couple bricks, and I can smell the wind of Forex for a second, and I could breathe it in for a second. I could take this, then I'll come over here and I'll start planting these bricks over here on Forex until I'm at that point. And it can happen any day now. It can happen within 3 months, 6 months to a year. I'm gonna learn it. It's something that intrigues me, because at the end of the day, the market is open 365 days out of the year, never closes. There's money always being exchanged.
Absolutely.
It's not difficult. It's not difficult to learn. You know what I mean? And the way this particular program breaks it down is self-explanatory. The only
Mhm.
thing is, for me as an entrepreneur, I have to find the time to breathe it in and soak up that game.
Absolutely.
That's
That
the only
goes for any field. You know,
yeah,
that goes for any field.
anything.
Throwing in what you were saying earlier about finding a mentor. One of the things that a lot of us don't realize, if you want to find a mentor, go by results. Go by the results that they're getting, because that's what it is. If that's working for them, if that's working, see who they have helped. See what they're saying. See who the people are, because I know majority of them, whenever they introduce programs, it's the people that's studying under them that are giving you the result. Like, okay, this person made $1 million. This person made this. This person made this. So that's what you're looking towards. Like, listen to their stories. See what they went through.
So are you saying that if I can't reach Bill Gates,
Mhm.
reach the people on the bill, they might be able to mentor you?
Yeah, reach
Okay.
those people, because what it is sometimes, and I get this, when you find a mentor, sometimes they may not have a way of reaching you, because you have to understand where they're coming from. Like, they may have a different story, but they may have the same story with you. You may have like a bit more, what can I say? Like, you may have a bit more better relationship with that person, a better bond, a better understanding. So you can learn from them. They may break it down in a way that you couldn't understand. For me, I remember how my mentor would say things and people wouldn't grasp the concept. So, okay, so here's an easy concept. If I'm telling people about Forex and I'm telling them looking at the stock market, you're looking at the stock market like this. It's like a football game. When it going from end zone to end zone. What goes up must come down. What goes down must go up. It's like looking at a football game. So if I'm able to break it down like that and helping you understand it, that's it. And some people are afraid to do that, because it's like, I'm so stuck on that person made it. I know right now one of the major goats that's inside the real estate game right now is Grant Cardone. A lot of people don't believe Grant Cardone is number one guy, but he is. This man was someone that came from being broke, busted, and disgusted, and he put his money into what? Land.
Let me ask you a question though about Grant Cardone. He's real estate mogul, right?
Yep, he's a real estate
So
mogul.
and it all comes with the territory, but I've heard some negative things about Grant Cardone. What
You're
are
gonna
some of those
hear-
what are those some of those negative connotations, and why?
So one of the things I think a lot of people say that's negative is more so like a white man born with a silver spoon, or racism, like that stuff that people will really talk about with Grant. But you have to understand, when you become up here, you know that you had to work your way to be up there, right? There's going to be some people that's going to hate you. There's going to be some people that won't understand what it takes to go ahead and be a leader. So sometimes you have to be hard, because mind you, you are the business. You're taking care of families. You have people on your payroll. So sometimes you can't reach out to everybody, and that's how those negative comments happen. But every single person I have met, I've heard negative comments about Dr. Speller. I've heard negative comments about Coach Stormy. And these are the same people that have helped people build up these brands, build up brands and become successful moguls. And some of their teachings may be hard for people to understand. That's the problem. It's hard for them to understand that, look, you have to be a hard ass. It's either, do you want people to respect you, or do you want people to like you? You have to have balance with the two, but it's kind of like, do you want people to respect you, or do you want people to like you? Sometimes you have to make the hard choices. Like, for instance, JR, sometimes you had to make a choice where, like, hey, I got to get myself distant from the people that I love, but hey, this is what's going to make me better for them.
Right.
Like, one of the hardest decisions I had to make, when I said I had to let my family starve and eat with strangers. People thought I was playing when I said that. I said, no, I have to let my family starve and eat with strangers, because
That's
the
a
same
bar.
people I'm doing this for are the
Right.
same people that want to bring me down. But I'm doing this for you.
That's deep.
I was like, yeah, I'm doing this for you, because these are the same people that I want to help. I was like, how many times have I heard, I want to make sure my mother never has to work again. I want to make sure that my husband never has to go to that job that he's putting his life on the line. I've heard all these stories, but I have to let my family suffer and sit with the people that don't know me to buy a service or a product, because they believe in me, because they're not judging me on my history, my history. That's what it is. So I understand, my brothers, when it comes to this game of being an entrepreneur, this shit is not for the weak. It's not. I don't care what anyone tells you. It is not for the weak. If you're the type of person that fumbles under pressure, you have anxiety, you can't deal with someone not liking you, you can't deal with, I don't understand why people won't buy from me. This is not for you. You got to take constructive criticism. You're going to take criticism from the people that love you. You take criticism from the people that have known you. You'll even take criticism from people that don't even pay you. Like, it happens. But that's a part of the process. That's a part of having faith in what you do and understanding what you do. So my brother's like, I love the game. It has its fruits. It has its fruits from the labor. Trust me. I was like, yeah, it's good on this side. It's just it comes with a lot of work.
I got a question for the colors thing.
Okay.
Like on average, how like monthly, how much do you in trading? How much would you make? Would you say? You don't have to give a, it don't have to be a real number, but just saying monthly, how much is you are
roughly.
How quickly can you get to let's just say making 1,000 a month?
If you wanted to do that, because the market, it does fluctuate, and depending on what type of trader you are, that's where it goes by. So with me, I'm known as a swing trader. So with a swing trader, I will be someone that's going to buy into something and I will hold it for a long time, a long period of time. Now there's some scalpers that know how to do that. Like I'm talking about pros, they can possibly make that in, we'll say 2-3 days, depending if the market plays fair. If the market plays in that saying, then you can make that money.
Those are snipers. Those are snipers, right?
Absolutely.
Those are called snipers.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You need to become a sniper. You become a sniper. Yeah. I'll start sending you some bread. You heard? I'll get those bullets for you. Become a sniper. I get those bullets. I ain't playing. I'll send the bread. I'm gonna send you $100. You turn this 100 into 1,000, and then I'll give you 300-400.
Bro, we gonna talk, JR.
Let's go, Lord. I know you know how to snipe, nigga. I'll send you the bread. You flip it to 1,000, and I'll cut you on 20-30%. We really get to the bag.
Let me go and get to
that. We speaking numbers.
Let's get to the question with D1.
Go ahead.
So that question you said, D1, when it comes to like certain particular pairs, you could probably do that in a day, but it depends on how much money you're putting into that. And that's the part that I feel like a lot of folks are not trying to grasp the concept of. They're just grasping the concept on it's fast money. But you got to go through the fundamentals. Matter of fact, I'm so glad you brought that up. Fundamentals. Anything that you get in, please learn the fundamentals, the operations of how everything works. So if I was looking to get into music, I'm going to reach out to D1. If I'm looking into looking about penmanship, I'm going to reach out to JR. Not saying that both of you all don't have it, but this is something I'm going to learn from both of you because I want to reach out to you. I want to understand what it is that you do. And that is a fundamental. You don't get into something just willy-nilly, just say like, oh, you ready to jump in. No, learn the fundamentals. When I'm playing a fighting game, like one of the things I've specialized in is games. When it comes to playing fighting games, the very first thing I want to do is I want to hop in the lab. I want to understand the fundamentals of how the gimmicks work. What is everything? What systems do they have? What are the order of operations that I can utilize when it comes to playing the game? So therefore, it's going to be simple for me to play it instead of just like doing combos, because I know that's what the majority of people go for. So just learn the fundamentals from it.
All right, and then when it comes down to how much you put in, how like in a day, how long do you think somebody should take? You know what I'm saying, spending time on that to make money, or when to be looking at the market?
So for looking at the market, I would say you start off with one pair. And usually the market, you can start off on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we'll say just a weekday, all the way till Friday. You can look at the market. But when you're ready to start, I would say you start off with practicing. Like they have it where you can use practice accounts. Some brokers have practice accounts that you can utilize. So it's not like you're utilizing your real money. What you're doing is like using monopoly money, that funny money first, right? So therefore you can understand what it is that you're doing. when you do this, now I will say after you've taken that time and you practice for quite some time, because you have to do it when you're ready. Some people will say they're ready, but they still won't trade. They still won't trade with their live money. They'll trade with the phony money because they can take that risk. But that's what it is. Practice what you would want to put in. So if you all wanted to do $100 or $200, you practice with that account again and again and again until it finally becomes like, okay, I believe in myself to do this. Because if you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to do it.
Right.
But you should expect a withdrawal. So my mentor would tell me you should get a withdrawal every week. That's how this works. Every single time you trade, you should be getting a withdrawal every week. So by Friday, you make a withdrawal. By Friday, you make a withdrawal. And that's what you want to practice. I've seen a lot of people trade, but they don't get withdrawals. So it's kind of like you're just trading just to trade. But are you making money? Are you pulling money? Because I was like, you started this because this is what? To help you on your bills. This is to be easy. It's supposed to be easy on your bills, not for you to go ahead and turn this into another bill. That's becoming a liability. That's not an asset. That's a liability at this point. So if you do get into Forex and get into this niche, learn the proper fundamentals first before you do this. And there's a lot of guys out there, people. There's a lot of people out here that will tell you that they got it and they don't got it. There's a lot of people that will tell you, oh, trade with me. I'm going to make sure you get money. I'm going to make sure you do this. But you know what's going to happen? You're going to fall victimized to following them where you don't make no money. You'll just be taking signals, as they say. So now what happens when you just take signals? You fall victimized to that, where now I'm just going to fall victim to just being a signal chaser. Then I have to rely on everyone else. I don't rely on myself. I rely on you. Yeah.
Mm.
That boy Ock look like Booker T right now. I'm waiting for you to go like this. 5-time WCW champion. Boy,
hey, it was funny because I watched the clip on the gram, bro, of him, and it was when I forgot what they're exactly doing, but when he said nigga on the thing and wasn't supposed to, it was a little thing. It was so funny, bro, because he kind of caught himself. He was like, oh, ooh. It was funny, bro. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can hear you. But yeah, man, I love this. I actually love this space. You know what I mean? Like, especially chopping it with my brothers for the first time. I was like, yeah, I know you all tried to get me on Dropping Gems season 1. I got a chance to look at that. And I was like, I'm just proud of you guys. You're running the play every single Sunday. You're running this play to let people know that this is free information. It's just that what you're willing to do with the information is up to you. We can lead a horse to the water, but we can't make them drink.
Sometimes I feel like we might be spreading ourselves a bit thin, only because we're in multiple spaces right now. Mm-hmm. But the way Ak explains it to me is like, but we're letting the other platform breathe. And when you let the other platform breathe and we come back to it, I think people appreciated it a bit more, because this kind of platform here is very informative. And there's certain people in my space that appreciate this platform. Mm-hmm. And then you have others who appreciate the other platform and vice versa.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I know we don't get to be as exclusive to one platform over the other, because that's not what we're trying to do. Right. But I think it's a well balance.
I mean, realistically, this is YouTube, bro. Like YouTube, unless YouTube decides to want to not be in business anymore, bro, like this information and things that we do here, we have a passion for giving out this information the way we give it out, and just, providing that it's for everybody and for everyone forever. You know what I mean? Like, it's a forever thing. So at the end of the day, I mean, we whenever we have that gap between the both, you know what I'm saying, it's still going to be appreciated later on in life when it come back around, you know what I'm saying, because the information is being provided. Hell, we reaching out to the Philippines, bro. Once we go international, it's it's a wrap.
Oh, it's over.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I
done.
think it was something that I realized like over time. Like, have you all noticed like how inflation just constantly keeps happening? Like,
Yeah.
bro, I went to the grocery store. The grocery store I work at, I was there. I was getting some Honeycrisp apples. They were like $9.99. Then all of a sudden, the very next day, they were $14.99. Like shit just skyrocket up. I was like, bro, I see what y'all talking about today's price and yesterday's price. And I'm coming from like, mind you, I'm a Chicago native. I'm coming from the shop. I remember when like 750 was minimum wage.
Hell
750 was minimum wage. Now it's the minimum new minimum wage. Boy, if you're not making over $20 right now, if you're not making over $20 an hour, I guarantee you are going to suffer. See, a lot of people don't know that. They don't understand. They don't understand why in 2020, I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of disconnection happened for a lot of people. A lot of disconnection. It changed us because we started realizing how expendable we were. You could go to a job. Hey, you got COVID? Well, hey, my nigga, you out. We'll go ahead and bring somebody else up. Damn, really? So if I got COVID, you mean I could just be replaced like that? Yes, that's how it was. Then people started staying at home and started doing remote work, started making more money at home than they ever thought they possibly could do. So now it's like when they understand, they like, why are all these people becoming entrepreneurs? Why are they becoming entrepreneurs? They don't like their jobs. Why? Because now you all showed us we're expendable. So now we had to get a hustle. We had to get that hustle. We had to make sure that hustle flourished because see, now we realize that there's some talents and gifts that God has given us that we fall asleep on. I'm telling you right now, if you're a hustler, that means you got big dreams and you should never stop dreaming. I want to go ahead and shine a light on a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King. He said, if America does not use her vast resources of wealth to end poverty and make it possible for all of God's children to have the basic necessities of life, he too will go to hell, by Dr. Martin Luther King. Now, why would the king say that? Why would the king say that? Because he knew we have all the vast resources.
And he knows somebody in power has possession of those resources, and they all going to hell because they don't want to see us win.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Because no one who told us. Go ahead, D1.
No, I'm just saying they not doing nothing to help progress us in a sense. You know what I'm saying? It's doing everything to help keep us back. So that's why the greed in it.
For sure.
You know,
For sure.
so
Because I hear that it's knowledge. It's the knowledge and the right relationships that equate to an opportunity of success.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Obviously, there's
and confidence, of course, but
and preparation.
Of course.
When preparation meets opportunity equals success. But you need the knowledge and you need the relationship, and you get the knowledge from the relationship, depending on who you know. You know what I mean? So, once you have access to certain information, you're able to dive into a new bracket, so to speak. What I'm noticing now, right, and what I'm noticing now is that entrepreneurs like Dave Cardone and those guys from Shark Tank and Mark Cuban and things like that, Robert Kawasaki, less Robert, but more so these guys on the other side of the fence is like, and I get it because, like you said, Serve, earlier, they've already went through the hiccups and the mishaps and the mistakes to get to where they're at. They clawed to get to where they're at. Now they're providing, some of them are providing that information at a price point, or you'll get lucky enough, to hear something on a TED Talk or whatever. I have a unique story to tell. It's not my story. It's a story that I'm gonna touch base on. Serve, you were actually in that live with me with Holly Boogs. And Holly Boogs had a gentleman come in who shared his story. I'm gonna touch base on that story after the halftime show, so I could tell you how this gentleman, went from nothing to something pretty much overnight as an entrepreneur. It's a very unique story, and I think anybody can learn from it, from this particular story. Not to sleep on the things you may have around you, you know what I mean, that may hold some value. We're going to take this quick 5-minute halftime break. We'll come back with that story after the halftime. After this intermission, I'll be playing something called the Entrepreneur Mindset on YouTube. And everybody go get your drinks, go get your Vice, share this live, and we'll be right back after this halftime.
All right, brother. Why is this man able to join?
You will inherit the future. We know who's talking behind those sentences.
I think that whole video arc was just there was no sound on YouTube. The audience didn't hear none of that whole.
Really?
Yeah, I think I heard it on yours, but I didn't hear it on mine.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
But
I muted my mic and I'm sharing the audio.
no, it shows now. When you came back, it's still that screen right now where it has our logo on it. It's muted. I'm looking at the screen right now, and I can't unscreen. The or unmute it.
Hold on, let me stop this screen and let me re-add the screen. Let's see. Share system audio, second screen, share. Boom. And then let me see.
Now it's unmuted.
Now, okay, hold on. Damn, that's crazy. So nobody heard any of that?
But let's not worry
Yeah.
too much because
we won't worry. We can't even get back into it. I'll play.
Because that video, remember, is being streamed on YouTube and we're on YouTube Live. So it just in case they try to get you for infringement.
Copyright, yeah. I'll play a minute of it at the end of it. But if you want to hear that video, my apologies. Go to YouTube. Go Entrepreneurial Mindset. It's an audio to get yourself going as an entrepreneur. One thing I know, Serve, you wanted to talk about something. You wanted to open up the floodgates a bit. Before we get into that particular topic on entrepreneurship, there's a story I want to share, and maybe you can chime in on it. Okay. Holly Boogs, producer, engineer from Jersey, he brought a guy into a live a couple days ago to share his entrepreneurial story. The gentleman was cool with another artist. They were both rappers. They both got into the game, did it for about 5 years. One went route into mixed martial arts. The other one got lucky by buying a pack of basketball cards. And that pack of basketball cards, he got lucky enough to strike a card, Blake Griffin rookie card, that was worth in value for $5,000. Now check how powerful social media is.
Mhm.
He took that card, created multiple groups within that space of people that are into those kind of collectives, and was able to grow a hype around the card that it became now worth $15,000 off of social media hype within those groups on Facebook, Instagram, wherever the case may be. Let's go a bit further. After that, he got an opportunity through a friend that knew somebody at Bleachers Report who got him an interview to go on ESPN and Bleachers Report website to talk about the Blake Griffin rookie card, which then increased the value from 15,000 to over 25,000. After that Bleacher Report, he sold the card for more than $50,000. Now, this is to tell you this: if I open up a pack of cards right now, before I even get into that, after that 50,000, he dove into breeding dogs. After breeding dogs, he got into the trucking business. After the trucking business, he's breeding dogs, the trucking business, and now he makes a living as an entrepreneur doing that. He's no longer a rapper. But that's one card that changed his life, and it shows you the power of social media, and it shows you the power of media in general, of that can increase the value of something that was originally just worth $5,000. Somebody paid 50,000 for, and that's to show you that whatever you put a price on that somebody's willing to pay, they will pay for it. So if this Bengals jersey to somebody it's worth $100,000, that person's going to pay $100,000 for this Bengals jersey if this is the rookie of whatever Bengals player it is. You know what I mean? So just be wary. Like myself, I probably could have been a multimillionaire right now had I not lost the binder collection that I had of Magic the Gathering cards. I would have been a millionaire right now because those cards are worth right now today are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I would have flipped that hundreds of thousands into everything that I'm involved in today. But I guess God has another plan. Somebody has those cards and somebody made some money off my collection because I
Absolutely.
can't. Magic the Gathering. Woo. Anyway, that's my millionaire story. That's my shot. That's my chance to become a multi-millionaire was through those cards. Early on.
I had Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards and stuff too. Like that was the special ones, the holographic ones, the ones that
I remember that phase. Yeah.
Right.
I'm looking right now.
Now they looking at it like I need that. You know what I'm saying? I should have like, damn, I should have never got rid of them. If I would have actually like thought about holding on to them.
What I plan on trying to get my hands on, check it out. I'm gonna try to get my hands on the rookies from the Denver Nuggets, the rookie Jokovic, the rookie Jamal Murray, the rookie from the starting five. If I could get the starting five rookie cards, I'm gonna work on that collection, and I'm gonna sell that shit for like fucking. They win the championship, I'm gonna sell that shit for like 150,000, 200,000. We'll figure it out. But that's gonna be my other hustle. I'm gonna look into it. But yeah, that's just a little entrepreneur story that I wanted to shed light on. Don't sleep. If you collect something that's has some kind of value or has value to yourself, hold on to it. You know what I mean? Like, if you have all the PlayStation series, if you have, old systems from back in the days that are in mint condition,
like
games.
Hey, not to cut you off, but like remember Kobe came out when Kobe passed away. I mean, when Kobe retired, he the way he went out was the most craziest thing. And then they came out with the NBA 2K17 Kobe edition.
Right.
I purchased that one for $100, bro, because I know that was the one.
Hold on to that.
For the PS2, then it's for the PS4, so I know, like,
hold on to that, because
and of course I'm gonna keep holding on to GTA 5. You know what I'm saying? Like these is not going. And then look, bro, trip this out. I got GTA 5.
Imagine how much GTA is worth.
No. How about if I go ask the nigga who plays the voice of Franklin to actually sign the actual one I have, how much that will be worth?
and he stays out there in your neck of the woods.
He do.
And
Yes.
his cousin that plays as the dude that plays as CJ is actually the cousin from him.
Yes,
I'm
bro.
like,
Yeah,
oh, wow.
he gave me his social media personally because I was working at the hospital and he happened to be in there that one day and you all recognized him.
The voice of who? The voice of who?
Franklin on GTA 5, bro.
Mm-hmm. Man, that's crazy. Look at
I know, bro.
Look at y'all boys hustling.
Nah, you just donned it on, man. You just entrepreneur, bro. You dropped the gym. I picked up on it, and then it was just like,
bam, 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 bam. Hold on to that, Ak. Hold on to that. Hold on to that. That's amazing.
That's pretty much that's what this really is: being able to turn nothing into something. Like
11, I remember 11, make a wish.
Yeah. So it was something that 50 Cent said. He said, "You will never understand what it takes to make money until you make it on your own. When you find a way to make $1 by yourself, not with anybody else, just by yourself, then that's when you know you got."
Bro, that boy bought quarter water and turned it into $1 million.
Look at that.
50.
And I'm
vitamin water.
Vitamin water. And I'm like, it's amazing. All you have to do is have an idea, because once you have that idea, it means that someone will pay for it. And anything that we touch bases on, it all revolves around what? It's just the fact that someone will pay for it. It may not be you, but someone out there will. Some people don't even realize that we've had, like, you all have had kids. How many times? Okay, here's something. Remember when we were in school, they had like the what was that? They had fundraisers. They had the fundraiser, right? What was that? You sell candy bars and everything.
Candy bars, yeah. And you get other prizes for selling the most candy bars and stuff.
So wasn't that already instilling the hustle of you having to sell something for you to get something in return? And I was like, that's all it was. It was selling candy bars. I'm like, wait a minute, the school is for me to sell candy bars.
I remember my mama would take the paperwork to her job, bro, and have all of her friends at work buying all the shit.
Thank you.
So we can win, bro.
Right, so you can win. So if they're already instilling it to you, why couldn't we do the same thing?
Right.
I mean, after that, when I went to high school, I was selling bags of potato chips, and even back then, I was on some get paper shit, man. I'm like, come on now, bro. You could go ahead and sell gum, bags of potato chips, put that inside, because it was already instilled to you. Because this is something. You found a way to turn nothing into something.
Listen, Warren Buffett was a paper boy. I don't want to hear shit.
Boy, look, Warren Buffett was a paper boy. Let's see. Bill Gates was just sitting in, he was sitting in a damn, what was that? He was sitting in a garage. Steve Jobs sitting in a garage.
Jeff Bezos worked at McDonald's. Jeff Bezos worked at McDonald's.
Look at this. And these were people that did what? The same people that are talking about this now were the same people that worked. They worked for a living. And then one day something told them, I need to think of something.
Yeah, but Jeff Bezos got kind of lucky. And these are things that people don't touch base on in people's story. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example. I'm a big fan of Dwayne Johnson. I'm a big fan of The Rock, right? But one thing that people don't touch on, and he likes to shy away from it, he talks about he was broke when he was 15. But bro, once after your Canadian football career went down the drain, you had an opportunity to get into the WWE because of your father and your grandfather. Okay. You got the alley-oop. If any of us got an alley-oop, you damn well believe I'm going for the dunk. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we're not everybody is fortunate to get the alley-oop. You know what I mean? So of course I'm gonna go hard. I'm gonna be in the gym every single day like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger is the epitome of the American dream. He came from Australia broke with $1 and a dream and lived it in the gym and went from one industry to the next. You know what I mean? Became a legend in bodybuilding, then became a legend in movies, and then did the political space just for shits and giggles. He ain't even have to do that. You know what I'm saying?
you know how they talk about like this is one thing that makes America great. And if you all do not have your pens and pads out, then I feel bad for you because that's what this whole show is about. So everyone should have their pen and pad out. Why is America so great? They call America a bank. You know why they call it a bank? Because see, America is the one country you can come here and you can become whatever you can become a word. You want to be an actor, you can become an actor, actress. You can have multiple jobs. Do you know there are other countries you can go out there and they can only have one job? Go to Dubai. Dubai is like it's known for its luxury, right? It's known for its luxury and what you can do. But do you know out there they can only have one job? If you were a cab driver, that's what you are for the rest of your life. If you're riding on the sands, that's it. You're someone that collects trash, that's it. You cannot become anything else. But that's why America is so great because you have multiple opportunities to be developed in this space. I didn't know that until my mentor went to Dubai and told me himself. I was like, what? He was like, yeah. He was like, do you know you could drive a car? You can leave a car right there. Leave a car right there in Dubai, windows down and everything. It could be a luxury car, supercar. I guarantee you it won't be touched. Why? Because every single corner has what? Guards. Armed to the teeth. No one would ever touch your car. And I was like, that's amazing, bro. Like, and that's what he said. He asked, he was like, how many years you been doing this? 50 years. 50 years you've been a driver and you never changed. He said, nah, bro. Once you get signed, that is it. You ain't going nowhere else. But
damn, that just kind of to me, that kind of like clash you. Like that puts you in like you gotta realize, like, you know what I mean? Like, what do I want to do for the rest of my life now?
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Some of us don't even understand the luxury that we're in. Man, look, okay. So listen to this. Okay. So back in the day, I had a ball python. Okay. I had a ball python. And I remember I bought a 50-gallon tank because I heard the ball pythons, you know, they get big. Well, fun fact, gentlemen, did you know that a snake actually grows by the size of the tank? So it gets big by the size of the tank. Well, here's the thing.
Its environment. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from its environment. So it grows from its environment. Well, that's what it is for most of us. Most of us think of us in a small environment when we should be thinking big. Dream big. What type of space do you want to be in? What type of environment do you want to be in? And that's what it is when it comes to us having a dream to go forward into something. We stop. We hesitate because we only think of ourselves as small. Like, oh man, I should just be right here in Chicago. No, why don't you want to go global? Remember when we first had this conversation about Troop Nation Center Stage? First, it just became what? It was just a song. We were just talking about independent artists. Then all of a sudden, it was a roadmap that was being drawn on a whiteboard. And more ideas kept coming. Then after that, what happened? We started adding on different things, different concepts. We did the light show. After the light show, we was like, hey man, who wants to enter the dome? Then after that, we talked about like a commercial space. So you see how it was being run just like that. So we didn't think of ourselves as small. We thought of ourselves globally. Look, we on YouTube. And it's just a matter of time. So that one fateful day, someone catches wind of this, and after that, they're going to share it with theirs. So that space that we're already thinking about is already bigger. So we're already dreaming big. We're already thinking big. JR has already told me, like, look, this is what I want to do. I want to do the Truth Nation films. I want to go and turn this into what? A show, not just us talking about it. We're going to turn it into a show. We're going to help out independent
media into a business.
artists. We're going to
turn media into a business.
Yep, Unified Media is the official.
It's a production. It's a production company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you dream, because you have that dream, and that is what a lot of people feel. They fall to that. They fall victim of that, and they stop. That's something that I understand more than anything about being an entrepreneur is being burnt out. Like, how do I continue when no one else believes? Do I continue with this? Am I a fool?
Well, I'll tell you to answer your question, because I know that's what you wanted to touch on, is like, how does an entrepreneur who gets burnt out,
right,
resurface? And For me, the advice that I would give for burning out is a couple different things. One, I would say is take a mental break. Take a mental break.
Okay.
Go be joyous in a space that you enjoy. Ride your bike, hit the gym, go on a nature walk, go on a camping trip, um,
Mhm.
uh, go to a lake, uh, go to the beach, have yourself a drink, call your best friend, call your friend that likes to go out, you know, do something that puts you in a space of just joyous, being joyous. Um,
Okay.
give yourself that mental break. You deserve that mental break. Two, I would say is um, rebrand yourself with new, fresh ideas. Go on
Mhm.
your whiteboard. Like
That's
right
a good
now,
one.
I had, I had 12 within 1 year. I had 12 goals. I accomplished 8 out of the 12, and
Okay.
the last four is the studio space, the land, the second property. Hold on. Give me a second.
Okay.
Hey man, sometimes when we be dropping these gems, man, they like interfering with us.
Listen, can y'all hear
Oh
me
yeah.
still?
Uh, yeah, we can hear you.
All right, I'm gonna just continue without the thing because my little mouse went out. Hold on, they don't want to see us win, but I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Um, even my mouse went out. That's crazy. So
Is that he's spitting that fire like, man, we can't drop all the sauce. And like
Look,
and that's what it is. Like, look, had to kick him on out. I like the
it's all good. It's all good. But look, speaking to which, um, with entrepreneurship, I find myself, I do be finding myself needing those mental breaks. You know what I'm saying? Those mental breaks are much needed because it puts you back in the space of, all right, what I wasn't doing wasn't working. Am I really committed? Do I really want to still commit to something that's not working and serving me, or do I want to find something that's going to work and serve me? What are my true passions? What do I like? What do I enjoy? In this that I enjoy, can I make money from this?
Yeah.
You get what I mean? How can I become a service for someone? How can I provide a service for someone? That's kind of how I started looking at the things that I like and what to become and how to become an entrepreneur in a sense is, what do I like? Like, I know how to cut hair. That's a great entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying, business
Absolutely.
right there. Being able to be a groom, someone to provide a service for grooming. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, okay, let me start focusing and getting really honed in on that skill so I can make money. Because right now I just do it. I know how to do it because of practice from years ago, but I'm looking into signing up to get my license for it, to be a barber,
Absolutely.
so I can really, really take on that role.
Yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean?
like free game. And I was like, if you do that the way how I see it, bro, the same thing I told my barber a long time ago. I was like, bro, go ahead, start cutting hair. So like you get your license. What you can do is turn that into like a series. Like, say for instance how we're talking together. You can go ahead and do something like that show that they got on HBO. What's it called? The Cut or the Chop or something like
Oh, I
that,
never
or the
seen
Shot.
that.
Yeah. So like with that show, it's like LeBron James had it where he had like a few entrepreneurs. Matter of fact, like few famous people that he had, like his famous friends. He would have them all sit in the room and all they do is just talk about like the industry, talk about the game and what they're doing. So when people listen to us, we're all messengers. We're all messengers in a form of way. And it's just that, are they
Okay,
receiving the message? Regardless if it's
right.
us or anything, it's just like that we're all doing the same thing. So the way how I saw it when I was listening to them, they were giving game on what it is that they were doing. And I was like, oh, I like this because they're talking about the hardships and they're talking about the trials and tribulations. So it was like the trials and tribulations of what people go through.
Nice.
I think more than anything, when you're telling people about struggles, it's something that they can relate to because they may be going through it the same way. Like some people don't realize that when it comes to you being in this space, sometimes you do have to cut people off from you. especially like a loved one. I know that's hard to hear because like when you get into it, it's like it's a process. But let me go ahead and go into what you were talking about cutting hair. So if you were cutting hair, the one thing I would recommend you want is turn it into a series. You can go ahead and be on YouTube or say for instance like chopping up with your brothers, and you can go ahead and talk with your customer and what they're doing. So when you do that, now you can find other barbers with you, like have people like study underneath you. So like I said, you can sell a service. So now here it is, they find you through YouTube or find you through your Instagram. Once they find you through your Instagram, what do you think can happen later on? Now that you're teaching these people, you can also charge them, because I'm pretty sure if they're listening to you, they want to purchase from you, they want to learn from you. So after that, now here it is. Now that they have bought into your business, what's the next thing? Now that they purchased underneath you, now you have certified barbers. You got barbers now. So if you ever open a shop, well, look at that. Now you got people that have learned from you, studied from you, understand from you, and now you have your barbers that can go ahead and join you if they want to. Now they can become business partners or just your employees. But you see how you can turn nothing into something just for having a skill alone. Once you have the skill, that's all that matters.
That's a natural skill too. Me cutting hair, bro.
Yeah.
It was something that was crazy. I can look at barbers cut hair and then damn near figure out how to do it myself. It's crazy. And so and
Self-taught.
what I'll say this, I don't regret, but what I didn't realize when I was younger was because that came to me so easy, why didn't I just go ahead and take it on like how I should have? You get what I mean? Like I kept trying to focus on too much other things other than that. But then I started realizing like it's never too late, one. But then I was like, you know what? That is a natural talent for me. Like it's natural for me. I don't have to do much to do that.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm focusing on that major, you know what I'm saying now.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to add something, JR? Because I know
Um,
you were talking, cut it
yeah,
off.
yeah. So I'll just continue where I left off. So, in terms
Mhm.
of just burning out and just trying to you need to get the flame back, so to speak. So for me, I said visual, get yourself a vision
Mhm.
board, write down some new goals. Right now for myself, for instance, to get the flame back into the gym, I'm working out in the house an hour a
Mhm.
day. What I would do is I would put something on the television, like a series that I'm watching, just to have something active in front of me. And then I'll go ahead
Yeah.
and I'll grab the weights and I'll start knocking out my sets and my reps, all
Mhm.
body workout, just to get my mind back into the idea of this is what you got to do every single day. I do that for a month, and then there's the
Absolutely.
repetition calls. Do this for 21 days. For me, it's 30. Do this for 30 days, and then after that, do it for 90, and it becomes part of your routine. It's natural, so to speak. So I go from the 30-day repetition
Okay.
into the 90-day. It becomes your natural habit. I've done that a few times when it comes down to fitness. Now I'm more so embedded in it a little more deeply because I have a point to prove right now within myself and within um I want to say my immediate family. There's something that has occurred in
Mhm.
my personal life that has kind of caused me to feel like I need to step my game up to prove a point, because when you're the black sheep of the family, people tend to take your kindness for weakness. One.
Mm-hmm.
Two, they only call you when they need something.
Mm-hmm.
Three, they don't
Mhm.
support you.
Mm-hmm.
And it can come from the people you dearly care the most about, but don't get the same love and return. So, what I'm still learning to do is, how do I let go of that feeling and apply it here within my space, and invest in my children, invest in my loved one, um, and share my ideologies to them, that this is that side over there, how they raised me is not how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if anybody, and I know you guys can contest to this because I've known you guys have faced your own demons. and your own trials and tribulations. But one thing that I've faced personally that I need to find a way to let go, and I'm being completely transparent at this moment,
Mhm.
is that my parents ain't shit. I'm just gonna say that much right there. My parents ain't shit, both of them.
Yeah.
So
So
what I have to do now is how do I become a better representation of that to my boys? How do I let go of that feeling of my parents ain't shit and apply something better into my children and show them better? And I've already done it. I've surpassed both of my parents head to toe, financially, physically, and spiritually, both of them. And it's not a contest of, I mean, I'm sure they love me. I got love for them. I have love for them. But I am disappointed in some of the decisions they've made as human beings, not even as parents, human beings towards their own child. And I've realized that
mhm,
if they've done that to their own child, how do I expect them to live as grandparents to my children? How do I expect them to be grandparents to my children? So what I say to anybody is that if you don't try to let go of any resentment and any animosity you have towards others, try to find a way to let it go, because all it's going to do, I'm going to let you know right now, because it's been done. I've done it to myself. I've let it get to a point where it's affected me not only emotionally but physically, to a point where it's like I hold on to it so much, and I let it like I let it sit dormant. That feeling, I let it sit dormant inside of me, and it uh it clouds your judgment on the decisions you need to make throughout your day, because
yeah,
you're now dawning on it. You're letting it sit with you. You're like, man, how can somebody that's supposed to have unbeknownst what's that kind of unconditional love for you,
mhm,
but they don't showcase it. You know what I mean? It's almost as that they look at you as, they treat other situations differently, or other siblings differently, that treat them like shit. You know,
Mhm.
when you're somewhat of, the black sheep is the golden child. The black sheep is the one that's going to change the trajectory of their family, the curse, so to speak,
Yeah, in a
that's held
sense, yeah.
against you, that black cloud. And
mhm,
I've always felt in my soul that as long as Yahweh gives me the opportunity to live a life long enough to proceed and plant these seeds that I want to plant and build this foundation for generational wealth, not only for myself, but just the wisdom, the information that I'm ready to give before I go, not only to my children, but to my peers, my loved ones, my friends. Like, I'm not, it kills me to know that you can't be upset because who your parents are.
You can't.
yeah,
You
And
can't
look,
choose your parents.
no, you do choose your parents. You choose your parents, so therefore you can become the person who you're supposed to be.
Right,
Your parents was chosen so
right.
you can be the black sheep.
Person, yeah, so I can be the black sheep. Thank you. Um,
yeah,
so that's one thing that I'm in a space right now that I have to um, cut my immediate family off to grow bigger, better, and stronger. I have to let go of trying to be the person that wants to say, "Oh, it's gonna work out. It's gonna get better." Because I see the relationships you guys have with your parents. You lost your parents, sir,
yeah,
and it's made you the man you are today, bigger, better, stronger. Ak, you have both your parents. I don't think they're together, but
No.
you know, you've learned from both of them that has made you the man you are today, bigger, better,
Right.
stronger.
Right.
Me, my parents, I don't have them. I haven't had them in my life for over 20 years. You
mm,
know what I'm saying? I lost touch with them when I was a young man at 17 years old. So imagine grabbing a 17-year-old and pushing them and going like this
Right.
out into the world, like literally.
Figure it out.
No, figure it out. Bam, 17 years old. And imagine having all that at your disposal, and you've made constant mistakes, you know.
yeah.
And you know, I am who I am today because of those mistakes, and that's okay.
I'm glad.
I just had to
First,
be transparent for a moment. I didn't mean to shift the energy.
no, first off, I want to say thank you, brother, for
That's
being
the
transparent.
entrepreneurship. Hmm.
Thank you for being transparent with us, because I was like, Dad, I'm so happy and grateful that you brought me on this episode today, because it's that I want you to understand first.
Good
It was
question.
something that I said on a reel. I said this on a reel when I said that Winston Churchill once said that those that don't know history are doomed to repeat history, the same thing over and over again. And I
Right.
want you to know that you're a vessel to this. That's
Mm.
what you are. You're a vessel. And what happened was, with you understanding your history, because you don't know what type of trauma that your parents went through.
Right. Right.
Someone
Right.
raised them, and that's the hatred that they brought on, because that's all they know.
That's
So
exactly what
now,
that question
mhm,
is right there. Do you think they showed you what was taught to them when they were kids and teens?
absolutely. So, like, and I'm glad you said that, Ray. All right, shout out to Ray. All right, my brother tuned in. He's on the same frequency. Um, One of the things, and I say that because that is the trauma that was probably passed on to them, and that's what they're passing on to you. And see, a
Mm.
lot of us talk about how we're talking about generational curses, but let me go ahead and point this in a different direction. It's not a
Mhm.
generational curse, it's a
Mm.
generation of principles. It's
Mm.
principles that was instilled to them, and those are the principles that you're teaching your children that you can instill into them. So
Right.
that's I'm so happy and grateful, brother, that you are the black sheep, so you can instill those principles into your children. Because see,
Hmm.
now you're breaking the cycle of
Right. Right.
generational principles, and you're breaking that cycle, because that's all we're really doing. We repeat history. And
Right.
then after that, when these people are brought into it, and they continue on the chain, and that's what's doing the legacy. So that is something that you can put in your story. It was something that I remember I had a deep thought yesterday, and it was funny. At first, it was just funny to me because I was going to work and I was like, hmm, I said, God created us. I was like, God created us in his image, right? So the Almighty Creator created us in his image, which means that he created you in his image, which means that you are a creator. Also, you can be a destroyer of what you create. However, in this world, we have what's known as haters, right? You have a
Mm.
hater. So if I hate you, does that mean that I hate God? So I remember when people used to tell me, they said, hate is such a strong word. You're absolutely right. I don't have hate for you. The same way how you said your parents, you don't hate them. You hate the act that they provided on you.
Right.
That's the act that they did for you,
Right.
but you still love them. So in
Mhm.
this world, you have to portray, you have to move with love in your heart, because you love one another. Because
Right.
that's not you. JR, you're not a hateful person. You just hate the act that they caused on you, and that
Correct.
is something that you do. You still love your parents, but one day they're gonna look back on this, and they're gonna look and see how grateful they are to have you as a son, on what you've accomplished and what you have shown them. Because now you're the one that's building up that blueprint for the generation. All right, my
Appreciate
brother. So
appreciate
thank
that.
you, thank you.
Yeah, I did all that.
But yeah, to go back to what Ray was saying, do you think they showed me what they learned as a child and teen, and and going back to what you were saying, serve, it is a contest to that, because if I could look in hindsight when I was young, seeing what my mom was, how she raised me, and I didn't have a bad upbringing. I
Mhm,
just think that at the time when I needed the guidance the most at 17,
mhm,
before seeing the world, is probably when I needed them the most. That's when
mhm,
I started experimenting with drugs, womanizing, and having, trying out all these different things and bouncing from one woman to the next and partying and, not educating myself properly when it came to those things, and, selling
mhm,
drugs and getting locked up, and um I've done it all. You know what I mean? Like, I used to be what they would consider somebody who had the most potential to succeed
mhm,
in high school, but then it all went to shit. You know what I mean?
mhm,
And it's made me the man I am today. I don't
mhm,
hold any begrudges. I don't hold any animosity or resentment towards them. They made tough decisions themselves. Would I make those same decisions with my children? No. No, because not everybody can survive what I've been through. You know, we've
Mhm.
all had our own trials and tribulations on surface. Um, wish do I wish we would have a stronger bond today? Yes, I wish we would have a stronger bond today because it would probably make a difference on how I would go out throughout my day, you know.
Absolutely.
But I don't hold on to it. I just say it's a life learning lesson for both of us, for all three of us. If I'm speaking about both my parents, you know what I'm saying? So I'm still learning on how to let it go, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's helped me become an entrepreneur because they both have, if I can get back into the gist of it, they have leaned on the man. They have leaned on the man. And when you lean on the man and you lean on the system, that's all you're gonna stay in that rat race and
Yep.
that wheel, so to speak. So I have been able to take their mistakes, those particular mistakes,
Mhm.
and utilize them to my advantage because now that they've been through those mistakes, I know what to avoid now
Absolutely.
and what to do better. You know what I mean? And reading books is one thing that I love to do. Reading books, educating myself, picking up a new trade, doing karate every Sunday for the last 2 months is something that I wanted to do since I was a child. They didn't have the resources to do so. I do now. So now I do that with my children.
Absolutely.
They never owned a house. I can do that now. I can do that with my children. Um,
Mhm.
you know, I can provide on a different level now. I can do that with my children. So, you know, granted, yes, things are not exactly, you know, peaches and cream even to this day, but I've learned from their mistakes, if that
Mhm.
makes sense. So if you can learn from other people's mistakes before you make those mistakes, you can avoid some headaches
Absolutely.
as an entrepreneur.
You became you understood the assignment, and man, you left no crumbs, bro. You left no crumbs on the table.
Listen, I'm a hungry mother foe. Let's just put it like that. I'm a hungry mofo.
Yeah.
But let me see if I can. Let me ask some questions for Ak to get him involved in these last 20 minutes. I appreciate you, brothers, so much. I have learned so much from both of you. Um, I don't know if you, I mean, I'm sure you guys know this, but I take our brotherhood and our bondmanship very seriously. Um, Anything that I come across, I do my best to send it over to you guys to provide a different mental notation for us throughout our day. I know we're all battling our own circumstances and our own doings because what we are around is essentially our own doing. So one thing I want to say is pat yourself on the back for what you have right now, both of you. Seriously.
Mhm.
I
You got
appreciate
yourself
you
to
because what you guys are doing at the level you guys are doing it in. If nobody has told you this, you guys are both doing an incredible job. So I appreciate having both of you brothers in my life at the level that you guys do it in. And I'm essentially bonded by that and inspired by that. And that's why I maneuver the way I maneuver because I want to outdo myself and I want to get myself to a certain level so that way you guys can get to a certain level and we could just keep
Yeah.
bouncing that shit back and
we're
forth.
look, we
You
are
know,
each other's mentors.
right,
We are each
right,
other's
absolutely, absolutely.
mentors.
One question I have for you, Ak, is there anything in the future that you can see yourself doing as an entrepreneur that you'll be touching base on once you've accomplished some of the goals that you seek to accomplish? Is there a new goal set in mind down the line, 6 months, a year from now, 2 years from now, that you see yourself tackling? And how do you see yourself tackling that?
It most likely will be the real estate business
Ooh,
going into because I want to purchase my home. So once I make that purchase for the home, it's might as well start really getting to that business. The good thing is I do have a father who can be, you know what I'm saying, who will be the mentor in that space for that
beautiful.
alongside you two gentlemen, especially you, JR, with property management and things like that. So, but yeah, that's what I see myself in the future, probably within the next year or so. Do a year or
Love it.
two.
Love it. Real estate. Entrepreneur at heart. Love it. Sir,
Yep.
is there, same question, is there anything that you see yourself dabbling into and trying something new, setting a new goal 6 months, a year, 2 years from now?
Absolutely. My thing is I want to become an inspirational speaker.
Woo!
Me
Hey, you
become
already are
a
one, sir,
voice.
in my eyes.
Absolutely.
Today you set it off today, boy. And you ain't even sprinkled the serve. I know when serve
Yeah.
really be, when serve really go off,
Yeah,
the eyeballs,
I'll
the
do that in a
eyeballs,
future episode. I promise I will be back again, and I'll give them the hungry serve.
the hungry
This
serve.
is more so the
Yeah.
humble.
Yeah, I hear it. I hear it. Love it.
I want to become a inspirational speaker. I feel like that is the power that God has given me. That is what He has given me to this day, and I feel like I haven't tapped into that. I haven't tapped into that space yet. So I plan on in the future, I plan on meeting people like the great Les Brown on a screen, not just on the screen, but in person. Meeting Lisa Nichols, working with people like Coach Stormy, Grant Cardone, other than my mentor, because like I said, I already have opened up the door for that to be possible. The person I'm already connected to is going to bridge the gap for all these things to happen. So I said that is something I really want to tackle because I want to be known for something. I want to get my name
Ooh,
legacy that can carry on for eons to come. So
that
therefore, people will
boy.
remember me.
That
Like I said,
boy.
in this world, you want to live life full and leave this world empty. Don't
Mm,
leave anything. Don't leave anything unturned. There was something I remember once hearing where someone said that the natural way for a person to die is to just remember like the people that they see. Our natural way of dying is we want to have our loved ones surrounded by us
right,
because we want them to say the final goodbyes. But
right.
what if the people that's standing around you are the talents that's already birthed into you?
Mm,
We're dying with you because you didn't live.
mm,
You didn't serve us. You didn't show your talent because you were able to do this, but you didn't.
mm,
That's what I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave no regrets on this earth that I couldn't tap into and manifest that into this world. So that's what I
Deep.
plan on doing, my brothers. And hopefully, like I said, when it does happen, you all will see me on that stage.
Oh,
Woo,
yeah.
that boy's
Um,
survival skills on
I see.
10. Oh,
Hey, look, I seen you on the stage before. I seen
Oh
what
yeah.
you look like. You know what I mean? So you already get to
just
practice
make
right
sure, you get them boots that give you like an extra 6
now.
inches
Yeah.
or something.
You know
Yeah.
what
So
I'm
we
saying?
can
Like
actually
I had a
see
man
you.
that looked
So
like
we
a
can
big
actually see
five.
you on stage. You know what I mean? You don't want to get on stage and disappear.
I most definitely, man. I'll make sure they give me a step ladder. You know what
I'm
I'm
waiting. I'm waiting to see Serve in person. He walked through the door and he just shrink on me. I'll be like, what happened?
Oh no, don't
What?
he trying to size me up, bro? I was like, I'm not that short.
Nah. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's all good.
Honey, I shrunk the kids. Honey, I shrunk the kids.
All right, look, you gotta look. The good thing is somebody still gotta look up to you.
Ooh,
Yeah,
talk about it.
yeah.
The boy, I
I was like, babe,
always got the sentences.
he does.
Somebody still gotta look up to you.
It don't matter how tall you are. Somebody still gotta look up to you.
Oh, you know what? I'm putting that up right now.
You know, because I love, and that's what I love right here. Like right here, it's that positive energy. Like eventually, I feel like this is going to evolve into a different podcast of higher level conversations because this is pushing positive energy. Positive energy activates constant elevation, and that is peace. That's what we're pushing. And I was like, it's the type of people that I want in my surrounding, in my environment. These are the people that I want, and this is what I'm attracting into my life. So that's why I said you all constantly keep that pushing. If you all believe in the laws of attraction, pull that up out of you. Bring the people that you need around you. Get those people in your environment, get those people in your space because I know what my circle is, and my circle doesn't look like a circle, it's actually a square. It really is a square because I just need 4 people, and that's it. All I need is 4 people, and I feel like I can take over the world.
Hey,
They
look,
say it.
a circle still got 4 points inside of it.
What's the what's the 6 degrees of separation?
I honestly can't tell you.
Damn. Isn't it something to the point of like there's
Let me
every
see. I'm gonna look it up on my
every
phone.
yeah, every 6 feet, you might be next to somebody that might be the somebody that's supposed to help you or something like that, get to the next level or something like that.
Mm.
I'm about to look it up right now.
There it is. We might as well figure it just get that way I could, you know what I mean? I don't want to give the wrong information, but I know there's like
Right.
something to the extent of like every person you're 6 steps or 6 feet away from the
It
person
says any person on the planet can be connected to any other person on the planet through a chain of acquaintances that has more than 5 intermediaries. So basically, surrounding you of there's one of the 6 people that could be, you know what I'm saying, the person that you're supposed to run into or whatever.
Run into and build with.
Yeah.
Amazing,
And
bro.
man, listen, man. Oh, I
Look,
like that.
I'm telling you, like, look
at this. Look
go
at
ahead,
this.
Go ahead, break it down.
Look at this. We went to New York.
Break it down.
We went to New York.
I love this.
Break
I
it down.
love the story.
First of all, here's how deep it goes, deeper it goes. The designer we were going for New York Fashion Week is friends with my mother, she met through someone else living in an apartment.
Okay.
That person lost her mother. Her mother gave her a vision, or God gave her a vision from her mother passing away, and that was to be an entrepreneur in clothes designing and become and to be apparel, which means a matter of time. She finds out that me and my mom, her friend, her sons do music. So then what she do is, hey, you think you can come up with a jingle? We come up with a jingle for her clothing brand. Excuse me, for the clothing brand. And then once the clothing brand, once he heard it, then the clothing brand jingle, he was like, yo, this is it. This is all I need. This is what I need. So they get into the fashion week thing, and then it was like, hey, you think you can model? You can wear these clothes, you know what I'm saying? And then if you wear these clothes, you can perform the song on the stage. So we was like, bet, we can go to New York. We ain't never been to New York. I always said my first time getting on the plane, I would rather it be New York because it's a 5-hour flight. I don't want to take a quick 5-hour flight to know how I would like a plane. And you know, that was me and my brother said. So what we do, we get on the plane, we go to New York. We out in New York because there's going to be a billboard of the brand in New York. While we looking for the brand in New York.
Was this the first day that you guys landed, that you guys decided to look for the billboard?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the crazy part about it, bro.
Because if you guys decided not to look for the billboard that day,
bro, I'm saying
none of this would exist.
I'm saying that day we got off of the plane. That day we got off of the plane, it was like, yo, we going to go get a bill. We going to go see the billboard. So we went to Times Square. We looked at the billboard, and when we was there, like I said before, for those who know and heard, we seen our billboard go up. So we doing our thing, and then we see JR the Truth billboard go up. When we seen that go up, his auntie's father, his cousin, and the people that was standing right there screaming and cheering for him were actually standing next to us. We didn't even know who the hell these people are. They ran going crazy for this man. And so he was like, that's my son. Your dad was like, that's my son. That's
even though my father ain't shit, he's still a supporter.
You know what I'm saying? That's my son. That's my son. So we like, my one was like, that's your son? He was like, yeah, that's my son, JR the Truth. JR the Truth, right? Yeah. So he's like, oh, damn, you got a lot of stuff. So am I right? He's like, damn, this nigga, who is JR the Truth,
how
bro?
we discovered each other.
You know what I'm saying? Who is JR the Truth? So that's what made us kind of, you know, all right, let's connect with this guy. And ever since we connected, here we are, man.
Bro, and what's wicked about it is that they reached out to me the same exact day, the same exact moment. They probably, if I'm not, I wouldn't, I shit you not. I think what they did was they recorded the billboard. Him
Yeah,
and his brother recorded the billboard,
yeah,
added me on Instagram,
yeah,
sent it to me on Facebook and Instagram,
yeah.
DM'd me. I added them. They tagged me, went live, boom, 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 boom. And then I was like, damn, these brothers is real serious. And then my father calls me, while they're doing all that, my father calls me like, yo, I met these brothers from LA. Boom, they out here on a fashion show, link with them. This is their information, boom, boom, boom. So my father's playing middleman, right? So
Yeah.
6 months go by, us all supporting each other on social media. That's when, um, ironically, I meet JC because of the billboard, because he DMs me, finds my billboard on social media. This is how powerful social media is. I already know the ONTL bros. That time I was calling them ONTL bros.
Yeah.
And JC DMs me and says, how do I get a billboard? That's how me and JC become acquainted. Then JC ends up inviting you into a live, and that's how I meet you. And then sure enough, you know, that's why the 6 degrees of separation is so powerful, because
Man, bro.
you know, one person might know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that leads you to the person that you're supposed to
Man,
connect.
and the funny thing was the same day that happened when JC put me on the live,
Mm,
JC JR was interested in NFTs. And
yes.
around that time, I happened to start
Ah,
learning. Bro, this was funny. The same week I was understanding how NFTs work, I was also looking into life insurance. And it just so happened, I was like, oh, well, he's interested in NFT. Well, I already got the sauce. Let
Right.
me throw this to my mans. Go ahead and start talking to JR and JC. We on a live, like talking about NFTs. Then after that, what happens next? I remember I heard Yo Gotti. Yo Gotti had a song. This is when he came on out with the song. And I said, hey, I know some artists right now, and I'm going to give this to 3 people. I gave it to JR, JC, and Ari. JR was the first person to do it. And then right on after that, what happened? A week later, 1 million streams on Spotify. That brother gave me a shout out, and he was like, bro, he was like, sir, because he was like, yo, sir, you think I should get on the record? I was like, yeah, bro, you talented. After I heard that Vado, take notes. Once I heard that, I said, bro, I ain't even hear Man in the Mirror yet. I didn't hear
Right.
that.
man,
Right.
So
that's
when I
some
told
shit.
you to do that, next thing I know, boom. I'm like, I just gave an alley oop to someone, and my name is stone. He
Yeah.
tagged me. He didn't have to do that, but it was just like, sir. And after that, bro, we
And
spent
then
a
I remember you DM me, you said a few things in the DM. I took that audio
yeah,
and I turned it into an MP3 and I added it to the pressure record. I
yes, you
sampled it.
did.
I sampled his audio that he DM'd me, threw it on the pressure record, and told him, now, sir, you know, you on a record. Your
That's a
voice is on a
motivational
record.
speaker.
Yeah,
That's that's
your voice is on a record as a motivational speaker. And
And ever since,
pressure's out now. Pressure's
yeah,
out
yep,
now.
it is out.
pressure's
You
out
know,
now.
Banging.
I'm finally on a record, like, bro, and
yeah.
it tripped me out. I was talking with my mentor. Mind you, how we got into this space. I'm talking to my mentor, and he was saying, like, sometimes he said there's going to be an unnatural force that's going to pull you into something that you've been pouring off to the side. I've always heard your voice needs to be on the radio. Your voice needs to be radio. Your
Mhm,
voice needs to be
mhm.
radio. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, is this what God been trying to
Matter
pull
of
me?
fact, talking about voice, I
And
DM'd you guys uh
mhm,
it's like a top 50 or top 30 list of jobs to do or whatever. So there's
mhm.
like 2 sections there with like voice applications and voice websites that you might want to look into to do
Oh,
some
for
voiceover
sure.
work. That
Oh,
is
for
very
sure.
simple for both of you guys.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
we
Voiceover
most
work,
definitely look at
and
that.
Me too. I,
you guys can make
you
some.
know, we
Yeah, I
all
know.
we all got
We all
unique
got a
voices.
unique voices.
Hey,
Yeah.
we all.
So
Because
so
like
that's something to
right
look
after
into for
that,
sure.
right after that, what happened? Now here it is. This man's pulling me into, hey, bro, I just need you to get on here. Just need you to get on here just for a minute. This was the third episode. This was the third episode because I remember it was you and your wife. It was you and your wife doing Truth Nation. And then all of
Yeah.
a sudden it ended up being where he pulls
I
me
believe
on.
I
This is
believe
going in.
I came up to me and was like, "Yo, can I get a seat in the platform?" And then when I came up to me about the seat, I thought about a third seat, and I thought about you, Serve, and I was like, yo, I reached out to Serve, and I was like, boom, 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 you know, and then you became the third seat, and we knocked Center Stage season 1 out the park. You know what I'm saying? It's just a beautiful thing. It's crazy because
I go
had
back
I
and watch that season.
yeah, had I not done that billboard at all, none of this would exist. Had I not did that
At
billboard
all, bro.
at all, I would have never met y'all brothers, which is
At all.
crazy to even think about because
It's
Yeah.
the
I can't even think not doing this now.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
there you go.
Right. That's the point. That's the point.
You know, and there's so many things that came from these relationships. I mean, you know, you talk about effort, you talk about pressure, you know, you talk about the one, like none of those records, even the records wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
Even
And
the records.
it's all telling a story for something bigger that's to come. And I was like, the best salesmen, they tell stories. That's like, and with these stories, it resonates with people because at the end of the day, when you're able to tell a story, that means that you made it. But if you still complain about it, you ain't made it. Like, no one wants to hear that. They want to hear like what is like from this journey. Because I was like, my question to you guys is, what do you all enjoy? Do you enjoy the journey or is it the end? Which one is it?
Go
ahead.
I want to say two quick things before we head out. I want to say that I enjoy the process. I enjoy the journey.
Okay.
I enjoy seeing results manifest from the mind. And then I enjoy, or I would want to enjoy the fruits of my labor with my brothers at the end of it all.
Right.
For me,
that's with family included, of course.
Yeah, I really do enjoy the journey. The end, I'm not so much worried about or what that looked like because I know throughout the journey there are things that you have to pull up and pull out. And it's quite funny that you mentioned that, sir, because for the Feast of Harvest, that was something that I presented and was reading about. It was called A Journey in Love. And I broke down love, meaning breaking down into change. So I'm having this journey in change, and in journey, from the Hebrew reference number 5246, NASA, NASA, quite ironically, it means to pull up and pull out. And so in our journeys, what we're doing, excuse me, essentially is going in within ourselves, within to make changes and pull up those things that no longer serve us and pull them out because they're no longer needed in here. So therefore we can put in what is needed to be able to function and fully move throughout the rest of your journey. You know what I'm saying? To make it to the end. So yeah, bro. It's I told you I was gonna get to the spiritual, what we was talking about in the Feast of Harvest later, bro. I had to get to that because that is what Yahweh blessed me with, was the understanding of a journey and what you have to do to be able to get it to that end. You know what I'm saying? And in that journey, it is all about change. And from change, you're just showing how much you love what you do and who you are and what you're blessed with because you're able to do that. You know what I mean?
I love that, brothers. I was like, it's the journey for me because I understand that in this journey that I meet some incredible individuals, and that's how I met some incredible brothers such as yourself. And I am so happy and grateful I met you all because you all have become a family to me. You all are brothers. I care about you guys. I reach on out to you. If I remember going through something, I know for a fact you all know. So with that being said, you all already know my slogan. Learn every variation, because even lessons unifies progression. Continue learning and always love.
There you go. Go download that Pressure song. You'll hear that sing notation at the end of the record. Download on Spotify. Want to see me on Spotify. Effort the One on Spotify. ONTL Entertainment.
Dead Pharaohs on Spotify.
Oh man, let's not even forget about Dead Pharaohs. There's a Dead Pharaoh somewhere.
Yeah,
Dead Pharaoh somewhere. He's a Dead Pharaoh for real. See y'all brothers next week.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy y'all work week. Y'all brothers be safe and be blessed. The whole
You too,
unified.
If you're not where you want to be financially, if you're not where you want to be emotionally, if you're not where you want to be physically, relationally, socially, 10 times out of 10, it is because you have settled in a place called convenience. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to admit the fact that you've gotten lazy. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Some praise can be poison. It keeps you locked in a state of paralysis, and you shining trophies from the past. And that's why you always hear those people from the past like, yeah, remember back in the day when I used to do this. Remember back in the day. They're still shining the trophy of the past accomplishments. So sometimes we can receive praise like a venomous snake that injects its poisonous venom in our veins and in our heart that causes us to stay locked in a state of paralysis. And I'm still praising the work I've done. And we get full. We get real full. This is what happens when people keep telling you, you're so good. Oh, you're so great. Or you did so good 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago. If you continue to believe that your best work is behind you, then you will never achieve what is ahead of you. Go ask any athlete, actor, musician, philanthropist, athlete, it doesn't matter. You ask anybody who is a champion, and the difference between them and their opponent is they were more hungry for it. I don't care if you got to listen to me 1,000 times. I need you to get crystal clear about your future, because the only reason why you are here, the only reason why you're alive is because you have work to do. And you got to figure out, why on earth are you here? What is your destiny? What is the dream that God has given you? You got to have like a shark mentality, because if a shark swims backward, it dies. A shark can only move forward. And so I need you every single day you wake up to smell blood and go after that dream. If there's anything I can pour from my heart, if there's anything I can give you in this moment, my greatest piece of advice is to protect your hunger. You show me a man who is failing, and I will prove to you that he is no longer hungry. When you are hungry, you are creative. When you are hungry, you are innovative. When you are hungry, when you are no longer full, when you are no longer satisfied with where you are and you raise your standards, it is only then that you can have your future. If you can stay hungry, you can get the resources. If you can stay hungry, you can get the strategy. If you can stay hungry, the ideas gonna come. If you can stay hungry, the connections will be aligned. If you can stay hungry.
These are those rhombohedron crystals in your pineal gland. When those crystals become electrically activated, all of a sudden they start calling energy back to them. And
The problem with many of you is that you got full, you got complacent, you got lazy. Somewhere along the line, you lost your enthusiasm, your optimism. You lost your hunger. I'm never full. I'm never full. I'm never full. I'm never full. If you want your future, then you are going to have to get acquainted with pain, with discomfort, with inconvenience. Because hunger is the only thing that's going to give you the power to persevere through that pain. Never stop climbing the hill. There is always another hill to climb. Go find your hill and climb. You got to be hungry for your dream. You got to be hungry for your next level. You got to be hungry for connection and alignment. You have to be hungry to fulfill your destiny. Hunger is not an idea. Hunger is not a mood. Hunger is a lifestyle. I'm never full. This is me every day, all day. I'm hungry to learn. You got to be hungry to read. You have to be hungry to grow. You have to be hungry to manifest what is in your head. When you're full, you can't receive. When you're full, you lose vision. When you're full, you get lazy. When you're full, you procrastinate. When you're full, you sleep. And I need you to get to the place where you're no longer sleeping. I need inconvenience to be your new norm. If you're not inconvenienced every day, you need to be inconvenienced. Every day, I need you out of your comfort zone. If you're going to win the fight for your future, if you want generational cycles broken in your family, if you want to be the first to achieve, the first to get it done, the first to see it, the first to do it, you must stay hungry.